did I just say that out loud?
Oh my God.
And my husband will look at me sometimes and he's like, did you just answer yourself? And I'm like, I did.
The inner thoughts, right? This constant, it's like, sometimes it's narrating, sometimes it's like having a conversation with me. We're going back and forth and we're doing like, pros and cons and stuff like that. But it's constantly on. It's never like silent. And so when I read this book, the guy in the book, he remembers the exact moment where it happened. And to me, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
So I started to ask people like, do you have this? Do you have this? And women, it's 99.9%. So then I think that makes us think we don't have control over it because it's like something else, but it's really just you. So like with the inner critic, that mean person was me that was scared to fail and that felt like I grew up with being tough on someone to make them better. Welcome to the Limitless Tribe, where two badass women build businesses, chase dreams, and keep it way too real. I'm Kat.
And I'm Mel. We're the founders of Powerhouse Admins and the Limitless Tribe, and we're inviting you into the messy middle, the mindset shifts, and the CEO glow-ups we never see coming.
Now let's get into it.
Hey ladies, so today's episode is something that I think every person really experiences, but most don't really talk about it. So it's things that you think in your head, but you don't actually say out loud. And sometimes you wish that you weren't even thinking them.
Yes, and it's not just negative thoughts, it's all the thoughts. So the constant conversations, the random ideas, the things we judge, and the things that we question, especially about ourselves, I think.
Yes, the overthinking, the replaying conversations that happened, and you're like in the shower thinking about them, and those random thoughts that pop out of nowhere. So I know like I'll be driving sometimes and I just think some crazy stuff and I'm like, why am I even thinking about that? What is going on?
Yes, exactly. Those are the ones that really make you pause and think like, why did that come up?
Yeah, so exactly. I think for a lot of us, it's not even that we believe those thoughts or that we believe that they define us in any way. It's that we feel bad that we're even having them in the first place. I know that happens with me when I'm thinking something and I'm like, why did I just think about like someone getting hurt that I love, that nothing's even going on, right? So stuff like that, where we've had moments where I think something negative, something I'm not really proud of thinking, and I immediately catch myself and I'm like, don't think that, get that out of your head.
Yeah, that happens to me. I think it's a normal thing. My daughter calls it like intrusive thoughts.
Yes.
But I try to, like, I don't want to even think about it because I don't want to give it any energy or any strength or any power. So I try to like change the topic in my head. So
exactly.
If I'm thinking something negative, then I try to think something positive about that person or them, like getting money or a prize or a job or whatever they're trying to get at that point.
Yeah, so like reframing that thought into something else. So from something negative to something positive, so that you literally replace it in your mind with something good.
Yeah. I feel like it sends that person like a little bit of good energy for something they already wanted, but also puts me back in good energy because when you think those things, you get like nervous and scared.
Yeah, you don't want to just
especially if it's not being heard.
Yeah, you don't want to sit in that negative space and like really think about that,
Yeah. Another thing we do sometimes is compare ourselves to someone that we like or someone that we're admiring. And that's not something we want to do or where we want to be, especially if we're on different timelines. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You might, not be in the same place as someone else right now, and that's fine. You don't have to be. So that comparison sometimes makes you feel like a bad person because you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I comparing myself to them?
Yeah.
But just thinking about where you are in your life and how, how your life is going and your trajectory, I think will help with that.
Yeah, you can compare it to yourself.
Yeah.
How you were before, right? Because it's like if you're, this is your first week working out or your first week of many first weeks, and you're comparing yourself to this bodybuilder who has spent time to get there, and the energy and the time and the effort. Like, you can't compare your today to their, where they are right now. So compare yourself to before. Can you get through this 1 week? Maybe you never made it to week 2.
Exactly.
And then kind of compete with yourself instead of competing with other people where you're not the same person. Maybe you don't even have the same goals. And again, timelines. Like, it takes time to reach a lot of these big goals. And if you're just starting out, it's not fair to compare yourself.
Exactly. So I think what's really interesting is that even with all of that, like reframing and catching our thoughts, and our brains are just constantly going, right? We're always, they just go and go and go.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah. And that's where I've realized that, you know, not every thought needs to be fixed or responded to. Sometimes you just have thoughts.
Yes, that's a really big one. And a couple of things, right? So with the thoughts, I've heard with meditation, that you don't, especially starting out, right? Because meditation, again, is something that you build towards. So in the beginning, I need guided meditation. I'm not where I can just meditate without it, because my brain is moving too much. I haven't practiced that enough.
Yeah.
But they say that, like, when all these thoughts are happening, don't try to erase the thoughts or stop the thoughts. Just don't engage with them.
Yeah.
So they mentioned something like, and I really like that example. Imagine, instead of being in traffic, 5 p.m. traffic, in your car, in it, you're up on a mountain overlooking a gorgeous view of the city, and you happen to notice the traffic. Mm-hmm. But you're not in it. You don't have to be stressed about it. You don't even have to address it because you're not in the traffic.
Yes.
And when you look at traffic from a gorgeous view, it doesn't stress you out.
Exactly. It's not as bad because you're not sitting in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always heard that too. Like, you just acknowledge the thought and let it, like, kind of pass by.
Yes.
Because I think it was my mom, she was telling me something about meditation. Never meditated, I don't think, in her life. But she was like, oh, I just don't think I'd be good at it because, you know, I constantly have things that pop into my head. And I'm like, well, that's fine. Like, you're supposed to, it's not normal or natural to have the thought, but you just kind of acknowledge it and try to, like, let it go and then relax your mind again.
And also that thought process, like, how many things do you not start because you don't think you'll be good at it? How would you be good at meditation if you've never done it? You don't need to be good at it. You just need to try. And, like, I would think if you do guided meditations for long enough, they can be less guided, and then you can build up to where you're at a point where you don't even need anything, and you could quiet. I don't know about silence, but you could quiet your mind a lot, but it's like a skill that you're developing.
Yeah, right now I'm not there yet. I want to get there. I still fall asleep during meditations, and I have to, like, wait, what happened? Yeah. Sometimes. So I'm like, oh, let me do that again.
You know what I love? I don't know if it's all of them, but, like, the girl that we listened to, she's like, and if you fall asleep, it's okay. Like, you're what is
subconscious?
Your subconscious is absorbing it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, great.
I know.
I'll still rewatch it, but, like, I don't feel like the pressure.
I did it yesterday. The same girl, I did a meditation with her, and I fell asleep, and I woke up. I was like, when she was saying, okay, open your eyes, I was like, I think I was sleeping. Like, oh, Lord. So I rewatched it, but yeah, it's hard sometimes. But I guess the point is, right, like, if you're trying to fix every thought that's in your head and acknowledging it and fixing it and acknowledging it and fixing it, it's exhausting. Like, no one has time for that.
Yes. Too many. We'd all be exhausted if we were trying to rein it in. And but to interrupt you, sorry, I did a little research I think we're gonna talk about it later about the book. But the inner thoughts, right? This constant. It's like sometimes it's narrating, sometimes it's like having a conversation with me. We're going back and forth, and we're doing, like, you know, pros and cons and stuff like that. But it's constantly on. There's never, like, silent. And so when I read this book, the guy in the book, he remembers the exact moment where it happened. And to me, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
So I started to ask people, like, do you have this? Do you have this? And women, it's 99.9%. And men, these are not exact figures, but, you know, from my memory, it's like 1 out of 10 might have that.
Didn't you ask Ryan?
Yeah, oh no, and my husband does. My husband says there's a monkey that's, like, clapping like this.
Both of our husbands say that they do not have this constant voice in their head talking to them. And I'm like, how nice is that? Really? Yeah. That must be really amazing, because mine has meetings.
Yeah.
Full conversations, like, it's got a ton of stuff going on in there.
And, you know, I don't want to lose it, because I think it's part of me, you know, and it's I don't know, I think it's useful, but I would love to be able to turn it off, because it doesn't need to be 24/7.
Yeah, and I don't know how to silence it. Like, I need to learn how to silence it. It just constantly is going.
Yeah. I'm not undiagnosed, but feel very ADD. And some people, when they take the medicine, that's part of the feeling.
Is it quiet?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know.
But then is it like completely quiet and it doesn't talk anymore?
I mean, I think it's when you're on the medication. I'm not sure. But people have had different reactions. Like some people take it and they feel weird because they don't have all of that magic that goes on sometimes. Because sometimes it's magic, sometimes it's terrible. And other people cry because it's so incredible.
How quiet it is.
Yeah, like they're like, oh my God, this is what it's like.
Yeah, because sometimes it's too much.
Yeah,
right.
Imagine you're trying to focus and you have somebody like talking to you. That's what it's like.
Yeah, definitely. I'm telling you, I have meetings, I have conversations, arguments. Like, I literally will ask myself a question, answer it, debate it, like the whole nine.
Yeah. I don't understand how they have it. I also feel like it might be boring to be zero.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it has to.
I would like to try for a day. Just give me one day,
yes, like
just to see, and then I'll make the decision. Like, I'll keep or I'll let go.
I don't know. I feel like mine has all these ideas and stuff, so I don't know if I want to turn it off forever. Like I don't want to lose it, but I wish I could control it more for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. So it's when you're responding to yourself and you're like, did I just say that out loud?
Oh my God.
And my husband will look at me sometimes and he's like, did you just answer yourself? And I'm like, I did. I did.
I don't answer myself out loud, but sometimes I have so many conversations that I'm like, did I ask you this already? Because I asked it in my head and I don't know if I said it out loud.
No, sometimes I'll say it out loud, but sometimes I nod. And that's when Paul's like, did you just reply to yourself? And I'm like, I don't even know what to say to him at that point because I'm like, you don't have conversations in your head, so I don't know if you just think I'm crazy or what's going on. Because if you don't know the process, like you're looking at me like, what is happening? Now he just laughs. Like he looks at me and he's just like, yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, I know.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I don't know if I do that.
Oh yeah.
But I do make faces according to my thoughts.
Yes.
So, and it feels I feel like sometimes violated because people will be like, oh, what were you thinking? And I'm like, this was a private thought. Like, it might not even have anything to do with them, but like, I wasn't planning to share. I just had a thought and apparently my face was animated to my own thought. And they were like, oh, what happened? Or what happened?
What were you thinking about right there?
Sometimes they think something happened because I might have done like but it's because I had a moment in my head.
Moment in your head. It's interesting. It can be fun. I don't know if it's everyone or if it's just females
I do think it's more women, but there are some guys, but I do think it's more women. The thing that my husband hates is the half conversations. Because then I have half of it in my head, which is the core part, that's the beginning. And then I'm like, yeah, I think we should go to the zoo.
Oh my God, how many times have I done that where I like say something randomly out loud and Paul's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, I thought I was like talking to you. I thought I was talking to you about this already. And he's like, nothing. You said none of it out loud until right now. And I'm like, oh, sorry. So we should this weekend.
I have to recap. The conversation he was in.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
Oh God. Let us know if we're crazy. But I mean, I know that a lot of people have the monologue and stuff going on because I've asked a bunch of people. But the whole like,
I want to know how many though. Like if you're like, if this is something you experience, please share it in the comments. Like, yes, I want to see how many people reply and say yes that this has happened to them.
And if it doesn't, let us know what it's like because we really don't know.
Yeah, and I'd like to know what that's like. So I also want to talk about people, like things that people don't say out loud, right? Like thoughts that you have that scare you, but if you feel like if you say it out loud, it might come to fruition or something might happen. So you kind of just keep it quiet.
Yeah.
So I'll sometimes have a random thought about like someone I love, like I was saying in the beginning, where like I think they either had an accident or something bad happened to them, and it comes out of nowhere. It's not something that has happened to them before, like they haven't been in an accident that I know of or anything like that, but it just pops in my head and it's something like terrible.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from, and I assume it's like some kind of internal like fear mechanism, but like normally like your nervous system, it does really retarded stuff, but it's trying to help you in some way, right?
Yeah,
but
that's what they say, it's trying to prepare you.
Oh, prepare you?
Yeah.
Like
and I'm like, prepare me for what?
Like if you, if you think about it happening, then you would think about what you would do, and then you would be prepared.
Yes. Because I'm like, why am I having this terrible thought? Why am I being so negative? And then sometimes I like get mad at myself. And like I said, we try to, I know you've told me that you tried to reframe it to something positive happening to them in the future.
Yeah.
I try to just think about something that has happened to them in the past that was good, or think of them like something that, I know like them in a good light, and I'm like, oh, I'm like laughing or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah. I think of like the future. So like Vicky, if it was Vicky, which is her daughter, I would imagine her when she's a vet, like, and she has her own place, and she's the main.
Which I like that. When you told me that about like even Tati, when you were telling me about your daughter, I was like, oh, that's such a good way to think about it, because then you're thinking about them in their future success and everything that they're dealing with.
I mean, I don't know if it is real or working, but maybe we're also manifesting and helping them and sending the good vibes.
So what I've learned is, like you said, what Tati told you about, it's intrusive thoughts, and they're more common than people think.
Yeah. That makes me feel better. And I think also with intrusive thoughts and a lot of things, right? I think if we talked about it, it would minimize so many things, because the intrusive thoughts are crazy, right? And they can get scary, and they can get, like I have a fear of heights. So like in high places, I don't like to get to near the edge, because I feel like I'm gonna get like something's gonna yell jump, and I'm gonna be like, what do you mean?
And then you jump.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't like heights like that. So the intrusive thoughts are bad generally. I don't think intrusive thoughts can be good in any way. So when you feel them alone and you don't share them, and you don't have anybody to like discuss these things with, you think that you're alone.
Yeah.
And you think that something is really wrong with you, or that you maybe need professional help.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Maybe you do, and depending on how much it is, but I think knowing that it's a common thing that for some reason our bodies do, and you're not crazy, it's just something that we're doing, and we can work on it and fix it and reframe it, but you're not alone, and it's not like.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, because I don't think, like you said, I don't think we talk about it a lot, right? No one really talks about those thoughts in their head.
Yeah.
Like, they just assume either no one's having them and something's wrong with them, or maybe everyone's having them. But I do remember Victoria telling me years ago that she thought something was wrong with her because she has sometimes like weird thoughts. And I was like, well, what are the weird thoughts? And she told me, and I was like, oh, those are normal. Like, I have them all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not like all the time, but they come up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's normal. Like, and then I started thinking, wait, is it normal? Is it not normal? And then I had to ask people. I was like, wait, do you have these thoughts? Or you? And then I kind of explained to her, I was like, no, that is normal. You see, like, other people have these things. It's not, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need professional help. You're good. Like, this is a normal thing.
Correct. And I think when we said earlier, like, not talking about them because you don't want them to be real, I already know that those thoughts are just normal.
Yes.
But I don't want them. So I'm reframing them. I don't really need to say them out loud because I already know. But if it's new to you, or you never really addressed it, or you thought you were on your own. My daughter was similar. Like, she had the thoughts too, and she thought she really needs professional help. And I'm like, I feel like we all have these thoughts.
Exactly.
And this doesn't mean you don't get the help, but don't think that you're a one-off,
Yeah.
So if you're feeling that way, like you're the weird one, then yes, share the thoughts. Here, I'm thinking, and sometimes you don't even have to say the specific thought, but like you did, like, so sometimes I have thoughts and I think of like people that I love getting hurt, or, being in unsafe scenarios or things like, what I used to, when I was younger, I used to have thoughts about people breaking in.
I've had those thoughts
And
too.
then I'm like, okay, where do I go? How do I?
But I have those thoughts now.
I don't as much now.
I do. Every now and then I'll have like a thought of like, what if someone breaks in? Like, oh, someone breaking in. And then I'm like, what would we do? Then I start thinking, and I go through the scenarios of like what to do in that instance, and where to go, and who to yell. Do I yell? Do I do this?
Yeah.
Do I, like, crazy things.
I have thought that, and I do go through all the scenarios. But now I feel pretty safe in the neighborhood. Not that is, ever 100%, but there's also cameras. So I try to be like, nobody's breaking in.
And I know, that's what Paul tells me. He's like, we're fine. And I'm like, I know, but I just had this thought. So now I have to go through all of the different,
now you're bringing it into them.
Now I have to go through all the different scenarios of what we need to do. And he's like, okay.
So if you're feeling this, now you're not alone.
Yes.
But yes, share them if you want to like check in with more people, just to realize, okay, this is normal. Still can work on it, but like you don't have to, feel like something is really wrong. It's just part of
Now,
how
if you are having thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, little different.
Instant help.
Yes, seek help. But just knowing that your brain is really trying to protect you about what you care about the most. So that's where this is really coming from. So the fact that it bothers you is actually proof that it's not who you are. These thoughts are not who you are. They're just things that you love and care about, and you want to make sure that you're able to protect all of this.
Yeah. And sometimes it's outdated.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was a bigger fear before and now it isn't, but your nervous system hasn't caught up to that,
Yeah.
So if we're not our thoughts, what actually are we, right?
So the simplest way that they say to look at it is that the voice in your head that's talking and you can hear it, if the voice in your head is talking and you can hear it, then then you're not the voice. Does that make sense? If the voice in your head talking and you hear it, you're not the voice.
So you're the one, but hear it how?
Like,
because I hear it, but like I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy, guys. This is a no judgment zone. I hear it, but I don't hear it with my ears. Does that make sense?
you hear it in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that still hearing it?
I think so. But you're the one listening to it. So you're not the actual thought.
I've heard of it different.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you hear?
I hear it is you.
Here we go.
I've heard, I don't know what's right, but I've heard that it actually is you.
Really?
Because a lot of times those of us that say, so like when I tried to do the work, or not tried, when I did the work for the inner critic, remember? My inner critic is very mean. Like, not now, but she was very mean, and like I was never enough. I never worked hard enough. I was skilled enough. Like everything was going to fail. Like she was very mean. So I heard a description of it, and the guy said, when we talk about the inner critic or your inner voice, we usually talk about it in third person, or like another, I don't know if that's right, but like another person. And we make it sound like it's another person. So then I think that makes us think we don't have control over it because it's like something else. But it's really just you. So like with the inner critic, that mean person was me that was scared to fail, and that felt like I grew up with being tough on someone to make them better. And that is not the best way.
Yeah.
But that's how I grew up. So that voice was trying to do that so that I would always be scared, so that I would always be working hard. So
it's still you.
It's like your subconscious versus like your outer self, or I don't know, your subconscious versus
Interesting. Your conscious
terms, right?
Subconscious versus conscious.
Yeah, like your current, like that's why, like for example, like the intrusive thoughts, like your current self is fine and safe and things like that, but your subconscious is trying to prepare you for all these things. It's still you. It's just like a different part of you that is very, I like to say it's like very outdated. It hasn't had a software upgrade.
That's a good way of looking at it.
It can be reframed. So with the inner critic, some people say to call it a negative name and things like that, but when I was taught, they told us to not do that because it's you. So to say actually like, thank you so much, like I appreciate you wanting to protect me from this situation, but we're safe. We're in our office, we own the business, this and this, like this is a safe space. Nothing is going to happen to us, or we've been through this before and we overcame it. We're safe. Thank you so much for protecting me, but we don't need protection with this anymore. And then that nervous system kind of calms down. So maybe back to the intrusive thoughts, I think the reframing to something positive is good, but maybe we also need to
take a moment to acknowledge it and
like first
tell them we're okay.
Change the thought, because that thought is so negative. I don't want it there at all.
Me too.
So like change it to imagining them graduating or whatever it is, right? And after that moment is gone and you've changed your thought a little bit, then think back, thank you so much for trying to protect me, but they're safe, we're safe, life is good, emergencies can happen and we'll be ready, but we don't need to prepare for them.
Yeah.
And maybe
that will
help
of thinking about it.
Calm it.
Yeah, because I really do hate some of those thoughts. I'm like, oh, why am I thinking this?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And again, I don't know the right way, but speaking to it gently and thanking it for keeping me safe, because that form of thinking was useful at a certain time, but I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
So talking to it that way,
really not preparing for every disaster.
Super, yeah,
I'm good.
That was super helpful to me. So I would try it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and just because a thought comes out of your head doesn't mean it came from your truth or that it is going to become true. Remember that a lot of the things that we think aren't purely you. Yes, you're the one, I think, saying it, but you pick up things from society, from family, from friends, from coworkers, expectations that might not be yours. So those thoughts, either they're outdated or they're not yours to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think, for me, it's like shifting and knowing that I don't need to judge myself for every thought that I have, right? Because some of these thoughts just come, like you said, intrusive thoughts, they just come, and it's not something that you really were planning to have or wanted to have, so just letting it go.
Yeah, and the judgment is just going to make it feel heavier. And I think that part where you're saying like the judgment is you being gentler with yourself and being like, I know that you're scared, or I know that this is a worry and I feel you, but it's not something that's very common and we need to really stress about.
Yeah.
So changing that from judgment and being so harsh on yourself to maybe more loving and understanding will help soften it.
Exactly. So the thought passes, but we hold on to it because why did I think that? Why was I, in this state of mind? But we just need to let it pass.
Yeah.
So whether your mind is loud like ours or calm like our husbands,
the goal is not to control every thought. So a little example here. In this meditation, I don't know if you remember that we did from the course, she described and I think it's a good example here, about not controlling every thought and not making it like a part of your identity. It was an amazing resort that was beautiful, and it was like spotless and so clean. There was like cleaner than Disney clean. Like there was like not a trash in the floor. Like everything was so spotless, and it was so serene and relaxing. You're looking at the water, and the water is sparkling and it's see-through, and then all of a sudden a little piece of trash comes through. And she describes that like what we normally do is like, oh my God, this piece of trash, now I'm trash, like this place is a mess, like it's my fault that there's trash here now. Like you make this trash,
the resort is trash.
Yeah, you solidify this little piece of trash like your identity. Instead, you'd be like, oh, that's weird, it's out of place, let me just grab it and throw it in the trash. So that's kind of like sorting through your thoughts.
Yes.
So the thought can come, but you don't have to like and it'd be like, weird, that thought is weird and doesn't belong in my beautiful brain. Let me throw it out.
Yep. You don't have to believe everything your mind shows you.
Yes. And you don't have to, and you definitely don't have to judge yourself for it because you're not doing anything wrong.
Yep. At the end of the day, you are not your thoughts.
So thank you guys for this. I hope you had some laughs. I hope you don't think we're totally crazy because you're part of the crazy and you can relate to us.
Definitely leave us comments letting us know if you have the same conversations going on in your head.
Remember, I'm running an unofficial poll. So ask your spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends. But I really think it's more women. There are guys, but so if you enjoyed this episode, send it to someone that you think could use it. And don't forget to follow us. Please subscribe, like our video, share. On our next episode, we're going to go a little bit chiller. We're going to do a little getting to know us. It's going to be a this or that edition. So I hope you enjoy it. And as always, your life, your rules, stay limitless.